My name is Justin Whitehead. This would be my third year, about second or third time back to university. And I'm currently studying political science, economics, and applied ethics. I'm running for the chair because I just wanted to be involved in student politics. At North Island College, where I did my first 2 years, I was on the board of the Students' Union there. And I enjoyed the involvement. It was I got to make some, affect some real change on campus, and it was a really good opportunity to meet a lot of other people who were interested in being involved, and there were so many people, passionate about different issues, and it was just a really great community to be a part of. And here at UVic, I mean, since I've been here in this last summer, I've talked to a lot of people. And there's been a lot of things that people would like to see done a little differently, and some things that people just love the way they are and like to stay that way. So, yeah. Well, I was running with the other slate, the Refresh slate. Right. And the fellow who's running with me, Jordan Crocker, he was also running with that slate. And some things happened about 2 days before nomination period, and it was all very unexpected, and Jordan and I kind of found ourselves trying to pick up some pieces, and we decided we would run on our own instead of and not running at all, because we're still passionate about running in the election, and we still want to be involved. So even though things didn't work out with that group, they like I said, we picked up the pieces, and we've been having a lot of fun just, planning our campaign and making posters and stuff. It's been a neat experience.
Right. That's great. Do you care to elaborate at all about what happened? Or?
Well, it's hard because I'm not even really sure what happened. Okay. Jordan and I, we talked. We didn't really know each other that well before that day, but we got together that day after Kaylee had approached both of us and just said, I've got some other people that I'd like to run for these positions instead. And it wasn't really presented to us as a choice. And so we were just sort of taken aback, because days before, we had been in meetings and we, had lunch and stuff, and everything seemed fine. And actually a week before that, I was asked by Kaylee if I was interested in running for chair for that slate. So we've scratched our heads. We're really not quite sure what happened in that week that prompted such a change. But like I said, we had 2 days before the nominations were due to kind of try and put something together, and Jade Taylor is running with us as well. She was also with the Refresh slate, but I had brought her on there, and so she decided to leave with us. But yeah, like I said, just the three of us, we're having fun, and I think it's going to be a good campaign. I'm sorry the way things kind of seemed to happen. It was all very sudden, and a lot of people's feelings kind of got hurt. It's hard to parse the personal from the professional in these cases, but yeah, we'll see. I hope it's a clean campaign and everything. I've talked to the other campaign managers, and we've all said we're not going to fight dirty or anything like that. And we're even meeting soon to negotiate banner space. Like, it's we're working well together still. Well, I have quite a bit of experience over the years. Like I said, I was involved with the Students' Union at North Island College for 2 years, and I did some volunteer work with student government years back when BIU was still known as Malaspina College University. And it's just, I've always enjoyed it. And like I said, since I've been here in the summer, I've been involved with I'm one of the directors for the Philosophy Students' Union right now. And just in that student union, I've been in charge of helping to rewrite their constitution. And we've been doing a lot of work there to try and make the process of electing that executive more democratic, and And in doing that, it really renewed my passion for, I really like writing policy and working kind of in an administrative role and being a part of a group. And I've also been volunteering with the UVic Greens, and that's been a really fun process as well. We just did a bake sale yesterday and raised a bunch of money for the food bank on campus, and yeah, it's just fun. I love all the people that are involved in these clubs and the course unions, and it's just, I would love to work for them as well, because that's what I believe the position is of chairperson, and any of the executive positions really are, is we're there to work for the students for whatever their interests are. We all have our passions, but I don't think that it's necessarily my place to tell 18,000 or so students what I think should be done with their student organization, right? I think that in this position, I have the skills necessary to represent their interests as they put forward. I'm for the divestment. I'm for them all. And I especially like to see the food bank one, raising the per student fee for the food bank to $1.50. I think, I just actually, before this interview, I was in there talking with Nathaniel, and he said we're getting a lot of traffic in there, and I know in BC especially, students have a pretty rough time. Like, we're the only province without needs-based grants, and so there's a lot more debt that students get loaded with than in some of the other provinces, and a food bank it's a necessity for a lot of students on campus. Well, the main issues that I'm running on are essentially in my platform that I submitted. I said, in the Constitution of our country, it doesn't mention at all political parties or even, the position of the Prime Minister or leaders or anything like that. Really, it just kind of says that there are representatives in Parliament who are responsible to the constituents of their ridings. And in this position, that's the same thing that's the same position that I would take is, as chairperson, I would be responsible to the people, my constituents, which would be the student body. And I've heard a lot of people told me some really interesting things that they'd like to see on campus. One of them being, people would really like to see some renewable energy installed, especially on the Student Union building. Victoria is one of the top 10 cities in Canada as far as days of sunlight go per year. It's a great spot to have some solar set up, and I think it really fits with what I've been hearing from students. And it would be, I got to represent the UVic Greens at the UVic's 10-year campus planning workshop that just happened, and I brought that forward there, and they seemed really interested in working with us on that. Yeah.
Right. Would you say that's one of your main goals then, is the sustainability?
Yeah, everybody that I've talked to on campus, like I said, I want to do what the students want to do with their student union. And that is definitely one of the points that everybody that I've spoken to has been interested in. Aside from that, I've also heard that students are very interested in some more kind of conversation spaces on campus. And I floated the idea actually personally at the campus planning meeting of having an area on campus kind of, and I equated it to sort of like the agora of ancient Greece. And to even have it as a voluntary device-free zone where students can just go and you just, you sit in that area, and that's just a place for mutual discussion of ideas and just conversation.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I was originally running for Director of Student Affairs with the Refresh Slate. And I was really passionate there about trying to work with the course union policy to try and strengthen it a bit, because it's a little loose, and to try and help create more of a distinction between course unions and clubs. Because that's what I've heard from a lot of students, is that most of them don't know that there's a difference. They don't really understand what a course union is compared to a club. You go to course union and clubs day, and it's really just tables, and they're all kind of just right amongst one another. So it would be nice to see the course union strengthened a little bit, because they could be working more closely with faculty. I know some of them are, like the economics course union, the political science course union. I know the philosophy course union. Those are the ones that I know personally. They work quite closely with their faculty, and they're quite successful. Yeah.
Cool.
And because I'm not running for that position anymore, I actually talked to Kaylee Zakas, who is the current director of student affairs, and she's going to continue to be. And I laid my platform, just out before her, and I said, this is what I was going to run on for that position. Can we get this done? And she said, yeah, we can get it done. So I'm going to work with her, in whatever capacity I can, and we're going to make those changes happen regardless again.